What's going on, creators? Yeah, just want to get on here and bring everybody back to now. Appreciate you being here and vibing with me for a bit. Yeah, today I'm going to talk a little bit about what to do if you start getting a little bit of resistance when it comes to guilt or maybe shame, and how that presents through maybe your friends, your family, people you're close with. A lot of times this starts to happen when you're pushing through these resistances and doing something that maybe is new or different, or something that you actually desire, but then there's this weird double-mindedness or split energy about it. On the one hand, you have how you actually feel about it, and how maybe it makes you feel good, but then on the other hand, there's maybe some programming from childhood that maybe your parents like put on you, of like oh, you can't do this because only spoiled whatever's can do that. You fill in the blank. It's hard to come up with an example. I'm pretty tired. I've been doing a bunch of work. I just finished for people that have like been watching, just finished up a big painting job. I just did a bunch of flooring job. I've been stacking these jobs, and so really getting them done. It's been one thing after another. It's been crazy, and it's funny, these resistance patterns that start to pop up over and over again. And recognizing that pattern, takes a little bit of the seriousness out of it. Probably more and more so as you kind of let go. But in practice, and growing your faith, for me, it's always been kind of a process of getting uncomfortable, getting to an area in the unknown, something you've never done before, and then kind of seeing where that leads. It's part of like exploring, what's possible. And, I believe all things are possible with God. And so, with that, really, okay, if you believe that, then put it to work. And so that's kind of what I've been doing. It's been crazy, because I've been trying to hire some help for my my business, my handyman business, and like I still only have one applicant. I finished that painting job yesterday. I can maybe show you guys a picture. But then went to go collect the payment from the guy, and he was having a meeting with some of the other people that are going to use that building, and got to talking with one of the guys, and he gave me a lead on a prospect. I don't know if I'm going to end up doing that. Kind of a younger kid. But the part of it is he was going to get like a $2,000 scholarship or something for college, and like somehow I didn't understand when this guy was trying to pitch this to me. It's like somehow he wanted me to pay his scholarship for working for me, even though he was like didn't really want to go to college. But so it was like basically it boiled down to, is like, oh, would you pay him $2,000 as a sign-on bonus, for working for you? Because this guy also knows we got a weird situation in our town, where it's just like, and I think it's all related, to what's going on. Where it's like everybody's hiring. My business was spotlighted on like the local news as like needing help. I got that through basically the meeting I had through Work One, which is like the unemployment department or whatever, and it was a free thing that they offer, and is that kind of a resource to connect with the news and whatnot. Because normally the stuff I've gotten from like the local news, like television news, normally it's like $1,000, for like them to give like a little blurb about your business or whatever. They used to do that where I'd get these like letters from them basically saying for a 30-second promo, minute, all these different types of things, and they'd break it down to how much it costs to really talk about your business. Like, and that's part of the illusion a lot of people don't maybe understand or see, is so much of what comes through the TV is just nonsense, illusion, and to take it seriously is really just detrimental to your own state of consciousness. But part of like that marketing or whatever is creating the illusion that, oh, it's so extravagant that the news is going to make an appearance, and it's like, because it's newsworthy, it should be, it's not. But like but I didn't even get any applicants from that, and in my town it's like everybody's hiring. Is funny. But then so that guy kind of knew like the situation, and it's cheaper than the temp agency who wanted to charge $3,000 for a direct hire. So we're making progress, on that front. But here, let me show you the building I painted. So I painted this thing black. That building. I'll get it on my website. That took, and that was filled with drama. Here's the front of it. So that was kind of filled with drama because my paint sprayer broke, the pump broke, which I painted that in I think 2 days. Would have been 2 days. Maybe it's 2.5 because it was like my wife ended up helping and stuff like that, and like but get there. I wanted to spray the whole thing in a day, which is definitely doable. But then I was having issues with the pressure relief valve, and I thought that I could make a plug. And then somehow I think I was maybe getting too rammy with the pressure relief valve with the wrench, trying to just tighten it up, super tight, because there's a shitload of pressure in that. You almost just need a metal plug or something. Because like the normal pressure relief valve has like a metal ball that moves up and down, and I just wanted to block that, and then so it would keep the pressure contained, because if it doesn't, then it shoots out the primer pump. And so basically I was just trying to just block it, and I had a piece of wood that didn't seem to work as well as I thought it would, and then ended up cracking the housing for the pressure relief valve, which it makes the whole part junk, which is the part of the pump. And so I gotta order a replacement part, which I think is gonna be about $150 to $200. But the issue was, and I was like, this guy's on a time crunch, I'm on a time crunch, and so it's like half a day, my pump's broke. I was like, oh shit. Well, there's like a rental place in town where they rent out equipment. So I called them. I just told him I'll just rent one. I'll just knock this out real quick. I don't care, about renting one or whatever. It's got to get done. And so I called the rental place. Oh, surprise, surprise. Oh, yeah, we don't have one. We had one, but it broke. And so called the other hardware store in town, and I was like, well, shit, this rental place doesn't have one. Oops, excuse me. This rental place doesn't have one, but let me check the hardware store. Call them. They said, oh yeah, we got one, but the guy returned it, and it's not pumping right, and we won't have something till the next day in the morning after the maintenance guy looks at it. And it's like, well, can I just look at it? I can probably figure it out. I need to get this shit going. I pay you for what it is right now, and they wouldn't do it. And so I was like feeling like, drama, and like next thing you know, I start calling around. I was just like, if I can't get a paint sprayer, I'm kind of fucked, really. And so I called my mom. She didn't answer, but her boyfriend did. And in the past, I know for personal experience, he does not like to loan out tools or equipment or anything. He's got a lot of good tools and good stuff, and a lot of times, and I've had that too, where I've loaned out stuff to people, paint sprayer in particular, and then they bring it back covered in paint, not even clean. It's like, really, I'll let you borrow this. I didn't charge you nothing, and you didn't even take the time to clean it, or cover it. It's like kind of bullshit, and like And so he's like kind of like that, and then he offered to help, and he's like, I got 2 sprayers, just put a new thing in one, I'll let you borrow it. But and he came out, brought it, ended up getting it done, and in the meantime, got a guy from Pennsylvania. I'm in Indiana. I get this frantic phone call from this guy. There's a bunch of drama on his end. I could tell he was like the guy that owns like the business, because just the way he was like presenting himself, and like the conversation and whatever, and somehow they he's at these doors and whatnot that are super heavy, that got shipped to Indiana when they should have been shipped to Florida. Basically, they had 2 out for the delivery. The delivery guy grabbed the wrong one. The other delivery guy came and just picked up the other one. It's like, oh, this must be it. It was just a big cluster for this guy. He told me, he was like, oh, really, I just need you to frame the pallet around, put the doors on the pallet, frame it, put a piece of basically like a Luan, wood top, make a box, and strap the top thing together. It might take an hour. I just need I can't get a hold of anybody that can do anything. I needed this done like yesterday type deal. It's like, okay, well, let me see what I can do. If it's only an hour and you just need somebody locally here just to do that, told him what was going on, made him aware that I'm trying to paint this building, if I, yeah, and then the pump blew, and then now I had two obligations, but this guy, I told him it'd just be my minimum to do it, but he told me, he's like, dude, I'm in such a rush, and like nobody, in your town is like, able to even touch it. I just need your help, and like, okay, $60 plus, 25 to go to the hardware store to get the wood and everything. He's got to buy the materials, and my wife was kind of like, I didn't tell her until after, because it was somewhat risky, because like the cost of materials are, getting kind of expensive, like stupidly expensive, and like I never worked with this guy before. He's just some stranger that called me and just had a problem. And so I was like, okay, well, let me get this painted and then I can deal with that. And, I'll trust it. But he told me he'd pay me $200 to do it. And I told him, okay, well, I'll charge you my minimum, which is 60. And I'll put a spot on the invoice where you can add a tip if you really want to. And he's like, okay, and so there's kind of this gamble of like, okay, well, I ended up buying like $100 worth of material, and like there's two 10-foot 2x4s, which are like $11 a piece. They used to be like, I don't know, 4 or 5. And this is all, I think it's all, related to what's going on, just the mental hype and whatnot. And so I end up getting this stuff, putting it together, getting that taken care of. It was all synchronistically, to the name of the guy's business. It was like, it was like loving, and in the conversation, I said something to him of like, oh, well, this too shall pass, it's just, and he had like a tattoo that said that, and it was like, all synchronistic, and that's a big part of everything, is not to take things so seriously. And that's what I keep, reminding myself when I'm like getting maybe carried away. It's like, this is not real problems. This is it. Just maybe some drama, maybe some resistance, but on the other side of that is just momentum that can keep going and going and going. And so, recognizing that, getting that done, he was super happy. He ended up paying me $125 tip. It ended up being $210 he paid me, and it only took, the first, because I went out there and I wrapped it in cardboard because I kind of forgot how he said to ship it, and he sent me a picture. And so I just looked at the picture, and I tried to match with the picture he sent. And then he called, and I sent it to him. It's like, no, I thought we were going to frame it. I thought I told you to frame it. And I was like, oh, well, dude, I got so many things. I just looked at the picture. And it's not a big deal, because we're just in talking these things, that a lot of times that can relieve a lot of the tension and the drama, and, maybe the hurt feelings. And sometimes that can even be helpful to build, I don't know, it builds some sort of rapport, but like, and so you end up doing that, writing a really nice review on my Facebook page and all that, just try to send some love back to him and his business, because, I like what he's doing. He's doing like reclaimed wood and making home decor out of it, wood barn doors and all sorts of stuff. You have to check him out, that Lumber Lovin', hopefully, get him some business, and, and all that. I like to support people that are doing good things, but like, in that whole process, trying to talk to others and like, oh, I got this going, this, but then you get this weird resistance where like people like, and it almost make you feel guilty, it's like, oh, well, you're like that sellout mentality, that's something in the music business, it being, a music producer, guitar, all that kind of stuff. There's this like mental bullshit of like being a sellout, this drama that a lot of times can get echoed into, people around you. And it's like, so much of that has to do with your own, it's not really the other people, it's like, it might be coming out of their mouth, but that's deep-seated programming within that, as soon as you let go of that in yourself, then you stop experiencing that so much. It's like a lot of times the things that get brought to your attention, are things that, at this particular moment, this is kind of what you can handle. This is what you can steward, and that's why that's so important when it comes to, growing and expanding, is realizing that, yeah, it's fun to grow and to expand and do new things and whatnot, but, that growing and stuff, if you're not happy or feeling at peace, joy now, the more shit's just going to amplify that probably the fear. If you're not in a state of love, joy, and peace, you're in the opposite, in the ego-minded fear, bullshit, suffering train, and it's like more shit. And if you're in that state of mind, it's just going to create more stress, more anxiety, more worries and concerns. And, there's like I don't know, like a threshold type thing as you're growing your faith to step out into the unknown and do new things and just trust that God's going to, work it out for you, but, and through you, but you got to stand in that in faith, and as you do that over and over again, you face the resistance as you're growing, but then it also starts turning into momentum, and, it's really helpful in renewing maybe the stagnant thoughts, because if you're not doing new things, if you're not creating new, that could be creating anything, art, kids, family, business, any type of thing where you're taking the inner state and making, turning it into something tangible in the external reality. These types of creating systems, creating, all these types of things, the sky's the limit, but when you start doing that, it's like, so many times you can get caught up in the past. It's like, well, I'm going to keep myself safe from danger, and I'm never going to do anything new, and I'm going to stay here and be a victim. Yeah, and that's a big problem, and that's something, I loathe that mindset anymore, the victim mentality. And I want to get it so I don't even experience, through others, through my environment, because I don't want to have any of that inside of my own being, because I'm not a victim, and neither are you, honestly. Creation works under, it's not random happenstance. God's in control of everything, and people get what they deserve, and you don't got to worry about how that happens. And so, if people are, suffering, or, being, a victim of, some external threat or whatever, so much of that, is a mindset that's now manifesting and, spinning out in these weird, loops, and a lot of times these feedback loops get worse and worse and worse and worse until you address them, until the suffering gets so bad you just stop and get present and just ask God what to do, but that's everybody's got their own flow, and not to sit there and judge others, but this is just how I feel about it, and with that, continuing to move in this direction, everything that happens, in the moment, if it causes some sort of an energy drain, or it doesn't feel good, realizing it's like, okay, well, this is something that if I let go of this mentality, I could experience the same thing and not be in my mind about it, or now I'm a victim, now I'm suffering, now I'm separate, from the circumstance or this event, because you're not separate from anything either. You're connected to everything, and that's part of the reason you're not a victim, is because, what you're experiencing in a lot of ways is yourself, good or bad, and so if you don't like it, realize that the past circles back in the present. The seeds that you planted, the thoughts you're thinking, the actions you are doing, if you're stuck in these patterns where it's just you're in this loop of suffering, getting the same bullshit over and over again, realize you're reaping the harvest of your consciousness from yesterday. Today, you can plant new seeds, but just be at peace, because then, as you're planting new seeds, as you're doing new things, next thing you know, that's like the quickest way to start changing maybe the stinking thinking is to start doing different things. So yeah, you break out of the habit of being yourself, as like Joe Dispenza would say, but like start doing different things. And as you're doing different things, new things, you start experiencing new thoughts. And it's one of the easiest ways to start to kind of change that mentality is start, instead of like having a thought, like the first thought be, oh, some fear-based reactive thought that you're going to start reacting to, start creating, and watch how that mindset changes, and you start experiencing more empowering, more hopeful thoughts, more a bigger vision of what's possible as you step into the unknown, grow your faith, trust that Jesus is within you. You're connected, with God. All things are possible, and the promises of God are true. And if people don't want to believe that doesn't matter to you, that doesn't affect you. And if people try to bring guilt and shame because you believe the promises of God are true, and that you can be, do, or have anything, that God provides that this is God's world. If people want to make you feel guilty, because they don't believe that, or really because it's not even them, it's part of the old man mentality that's being shown to you, to address it, to let it go, and to grow. So many times, with that painting job, my wife ended up helping me, and trying to, if I hire people to help me do jobs, I want to be a good boss or whatever. I don't want to snap at them or be some control freak that just yells and acts like a dictator. Which is something, sometimes I can get like that, especially when it comes to, maybe doing a job that is risky, where, you just like, well, if somebody screws this up, I'd rather it be me than you, because I got to pay for it regardless. If something happens, that's on me. And so, and with that, with my wife helping me, trying to improve on taking my hands off the wheel, trusting others, and really trying to see a good state in them, and really focus on that, and not focus on, what they're doing wrong, but focusing on what's going right, and really trying to motivate in that way. And this is all of a learning thing for me. And it's like, I feel like, honestly, as soon as I'm able to let go of a lot of these mental stories of like, I gotta get to control everything, and I got to be the one that's physically over here moving these plates around, moving shit around, instead of trusting others. As soon as like maybe vibrationally it's a match, then it won't be a big, probably be abundant amount of people trying to apply, to the point I have to turn them away, and it's just so many times has been the experience I've had with just life and being self-employed and growing a business and doing these things. And yeah, it's just crazy, but yeah, it just has been, it is what it is. And so, with that being said, I think I'm going to balance. I just want to keep you guys informed and updated what's going on. I'll try to get better pictures, not through the phone, but through my website or whatever. I just haven't had the time to update those pictures and put them on there. And plus, the other end of it too is like being so busy, with just overwhelming amount of people calling and everything. It's just like every time I put a finished job on out there in public, it adds to that momentum. And then even more people start calling, and it's like kind of just dialing back till I get caught up a little bit. And but I'll probably have that on for the next stream. But thanks for listening. I'm gonna bounce. I got stuff going on. So thanks again for listening, and have a good rest of your now, and God bless.